Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This video we've got Miranda Okazima on. She's going to be talking about our new range, the Corroboree Frog Range, which is all about supporting an endangered species here in Australia. It's critically endangered. There's only around 30 of them left on the planet. So yeah, this episode will be really getting into the plight of the Corroboree frog, how we can help, and what we're doing for them. If you like any of the content on this channel or you like this video, please feel free to subscribe below. And that's pretty much it. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, how you going? Chris here from Seaflow. Got a guest in, one of our sponsored athletes, black belt from Sydney, Miranda Okazima. How you going, Miranda?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very, very good. Yeah, the reason we've got Miranda on today, not only to have a chat to her, because she's awesome and one of our sponsored athletes, but she was the brainchild behind one of our latest releases, which is the Corroboree Frog release. And yeah, we thought we'd have Miranda on to have a chat about those little guys and the situation they're in and how we can help. Because yeah, she brought it to us, the plight that they're in and a potential way that we could help out. So hopefully through some information, people can get behind the cause a little bit more, or even just educate themselves more on what's going on in our environment, particularly in Australia, because it's very close to home. So thank you for the awesome idea, and I'm sure the frogs will be thanking you as well. But can you tell me a little bit how you because I didn't know these frogs existed, probably because they're so endangered, how you came about their existence in the first place, and yeah, how you got to a point where you knew of their problem and wanting to fix it.
So with my actual work, because I have a corporate office job as well as doing jiu-jitsu for fun, I am, let's call myself a sponsorships and partnerships manager in part of the role. And the company that I work for, we actually sponsor some animals that are part of the Taronga Conservation Society, and the things that they do. So we actually went to visit the Taronga Zoo like a year and a bit ago to talk with the sponsorship manager over there. And just on the way, because I wasn't driving, somebody else was, and they mentioned that they would look at some other animals that they wanted to potentially sponsor. So I looked up what was on the endangered list, and I didn't realize this is actually a few levels to get to extinct.
Okay.
And so when you're extinct, just before that is critically endangered, and then you've got endangered, and then you've got protected is one of the others, and I think there must be two more if I can count to five.
Higher, yeah.
So yeah, critically endangered is actually the last step before they become before they're listed as extinct. And I was having a look at all the Australian animals that were on that list, and one of the animals there was the Corroboree frog. They've got the north and south version, and I am pretty sure this is the south version.
Yep.
Don't quote me. But I had a look into it, and they're like this big. They're tiny.
Oh, so they're tiny.
They're so, yeah, they're like smaller than the size of a normal human thumb, like tiny. And
wow.
Yeah, so they were the just one of the ones that I saw. And then when life went on, I didn't think about it again.
Yeah.
Then I have a lot of ideas that sometimes I just shoot out to somebody else that can action it that I can't. So I was having a chat with Nathan Boff from Continuous Flow, and I often throw out ideas for new designs.
He appreciates
it. Some of them he's keen on, and some
yeah.
of them he kind of doesn't like so much. But I said to him, "What is this? Do you know your audience for this show? Is it censored? Sorry, is it for?"
Speak freely.
So I was sending him a message one day, and I was like, you know what? We should do like some really fucked up animal print. And he was like, what do you mean? I said, like, just some animal print that nobody would ever do or wear or whatever, like armadillo or some shit.
Something
and then
different.
he came, yeah, and then we came up with the okapi, and I probably butchered that pronunciation, but it's like a cross between a horse, a donkey, and a zebra. and it looks like a combination of those animals
Yeah.
with, it's like fully brown, except on its butt it's got zebra stripes. So the joke that we had was that, like, when you buy the kit, if you buy the kit, you have to actually pose with your butt out so that you can see where the zebra stripes or the okapi stripes are. And it kind of just like, the back and forth was so stupid.
Yeah.
And then Show Your Roll actually released the poison dart frog gi. And I sent it straight to Nathan and I went, they fucking stole my idea. And I
Fucking
was
Show
like,
Your Roll.
how dare they? How dare they go into
You
my
like to have
Instagram
enough
chats with
money
you?
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so just off the back of that, I said, we should do something like that for an Australian native animal, like the Corroboree frog, which was in my mind from that time I went with work to the zoo. And it was, I suggested that we also, I think I did, one of us suggested that like a portion of the sales go towards the conservation, like as a donation towards the conservation effort. And Nathan just kind of went silent on it for a little while.
Yep.
And I didn't realize he was doing things in the background because at the end of May, so now it's the 3rd of July, at the end of May, he sent me a message and he was like, what are you doing? I want to get your reaction in real time. And I was like, oh, this doesn't look very good. So
Right.
he actually, he sent me pictures. He sent me 7 different designs for the top. And I was shocked. I had no idea it had progressed that far. And I was really impressed that there was so much thought had gone into the designs in that short period of time. And so in the next sort of 6-ish hours, we got to the point where I was given the choice to select which design that we went with. And I made a couple of suggestions about the chosen design, and that's what he ended up putting into the actual range, and that was on the rash vest. And then he showed me what they designed for the pants and shorts and jumper, and I was just super, super happy because I could never have imagined anything to just look so nice while also being supportive of such an important cause.
Yeah, it's an awesome design, and Nathan is one of those guys where he does care about that type of stuff, where he'd probably be more inclined to action something like that than say like some rash guard idea that has no like tangible good to be offered as well. Like, so yeah, like I'm not surprised that he got stuck into that quietly behind the scenes and then wanted to provide it, because again, that's like, obviously I work for the company, so I'm biased, right? But I actually didn't know how community orientated or how much he wanted to do stuff like this and how much work went into it until I started working in the company. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me, but it probably surprises you because you wouldn't have encountered too many companies that would be so willing to, 1, take your idea on, 2, donate money, and then 3, let you choose the design. Like that's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Look, I'm very lucky that I am so involved in our sponsorship program at my work. So I am actually quite involved in this sort of stuff on a day-to-day basis at work. So however, it does not escape me that not a lot of people are like this in terms of even corporations and like Continuous Flow as a Australian-based business that they're not small by any means, but they're local, homegrown. But supporting those and supporting other this is not the only thing that I know Nathan supports. He supports the team out at is it Mildura, the FNJTS, the ladies out there. So I wasn't surprised when he said let's do it, because I'd already seen what he'd done with the ladies out at Mildura.
Yeah. So with the Corroboree frog, what are some of the issues that it's facing and has kind of got it to this point? Is it one issue in particular? Is it a mixture of a bunch of issues? So how has the little guy got to the point where he's on the precipice of being extinct, which is really sad?
I am fairly certain there is a fungal infection that is the thing that is, it's
The main thing?
Yeah, so it is poisonous in that if you eat it or if you touch it, the poison is on its skin. So poisonous is the poison's on the outside, venomous is that it injects it via like a bite or a sting or something. So yeah, poisonous, it's got the poison on the outside of the skin, and it developed, or it's thought that they developed that poison to combat infections, but I don't believe it was evolved enough into actually protecting them from the fungal infection that is actually getting the population at the moment. And there's like 30 left in the wild from
How many?
what I can tell. 30. 30.
30.
Yeah.
All over the planet.
So they're only found in Australia.
Yeah.
They're native to Australia, and only in specific parts, like I think it's like down in where the snow is. So like
most gyms have more members.
Yeah, so like being a reptile in the snow area can't really be good for your survival rates. It doesn't have any predators, so it's just whatever the fungal issue is causing for them. There's it's thought to have the ability to develop immunity to the fungal infection, but it can still die from that fungal infection while not before it develops the immunity, if it's I guess if it's young or not very strong or whatever. But interestingly, and the timings couldn't be better, is that Taronga Zoo have set up a purpose-built exhibit in its Sydney Zoo called ARC, or ARC is it's the Australian reptile section, and they've got some corroborees sitting in there, and that literally opened like 4 days ago.
Wow, that's really good. I was reading a little about them as well, and I saw that there was a bushfire that happened, and it took out like 2/3 of the population where they were already being looked after.
Oh no,
pretty crazy. Like, so they've had a terrible run of luck as well, obviously. So yeah, it's a fungal issue mainly.
You could, and don't quote me on that.
No, but I did some reading on it as well, and I found that as well, and I saw the fungal issue mentioned, and obviously the bushfire issue. So, and with them being so small as well, it doesn't make it easier to survive in the wild. But like you said, they have no natural predators. So, do we know how we can navigate around this fungal infection? Is it about just getting the numbers back up to a stable amount, and then hoping as a species can develop an immunity and get past the fungal part? Or is it going to be a long-term thing where we're kind of going to have to constantly be helping them out?
I haven't gotten that far into my
well, it's a complex issue, like,
I was just trying to quickly Google. You might have noticed that my face went just a little bit blank.
No, I didn't actually.
I was trying to Google it quickly, what's killing them, but I wasn't fast enough to get to how to get rid of this fungal thing. But so it's actually the southern frogs that are at risk of the chytrid. I don't.
Yeah, it starts with
horrible,
C. I saw it
horrible Latin pronunciation on my part. But in the north, so the northern Corroboree frog also gets damaged by feral animals, fire, drought, weeds, and logging.
Wow, so some man influence stuff.
Yeah. So, and that probably affects the southern one as well a little bit, given that if their habitat is dwindling, then their population would follow suit.
Yeah, it makes sense. So I know that I think we're donating $20 from each sale to the Corroboree frog.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have all the links in the bottom of this video for where they can purchase the rash guard. If you could, I'll actually message you after this. If you can send any links to the Taronga stuff or any other places people can donate funds, because they might want to buy a hoodie, but they might want to do more. So it'd be awesome. I'll put all those links in. But yeah, I just wanted to have a quick chat with you about the who, what, when, where, and why, and also thank you, because again, this probably doesn't happen unless you voice your idea.
Let's not start talking shit with Bob.
Yeah, but look what it turned into, right? You said just chatting about rash guard designs, and now you're both doing some awesome stuff for a super endangered species in Australia that if it disappears from here, it's not going to come back, and it's gone. And it's a cute little animal. poisonous frogs are fucking awesome. And I didn't realize how small they were. I truly
Yeah.
didn't realize how small they were. So
Tiny. So
hopefully-
this
yeah,
this design is like 4 times the size of it.
yeah, and that's what I mean. So like, yeah, cool little animal with lots of character, and hopefully we can, a little effort here can build some momentum, and we can
Make a
keep those
difference, yeah.
numbers going up. Yeah, and yeah, it's going to be a long road for them, I would imagine, but it has to start somewhere. And it sounds like Taronga's doing some awesome stuff, and we're going to try and help out. And maybe some people catch wind of this and they want to do their own stuff to help out, and it can really just avalanche and snowball and
Yeah.
really, really pick up.
Yeah, so Taronga is based in New South Wales, but I know that Zoos Victoria is also working to help in terms of the conservation efforts for the Corroborees down there, because they're based, I think, in the northern
Seaboard, right?
Yeah,
On
on the eastern seaboard, but I was going to say the northeastern part of Victoria and the southeastern part of New South Wales. So both states, their respective conservation societies are both working towards making a difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for the chat, Miranda. That was awesome.
Thank
like
you.
I said, we'll be sharing this around, and we'll be putting the links in. And yeah, if you have any other ideas, I'm sure Boff would love it. So
I will just keep talking shit with Boff and see what naturally
100%,
happens.
100%. But yeah, again, really thoughtful idea. It's now been actioned into an actual product. The product looks sick. I don't know if you'll see many rash guards around like that. It was very distinctive.
Not really. Like,
Nah.
I mean, you can tell when there's other brands around, especially some of the Australian brands have unique designs, but not as
Not like that.
not like that. I just couldn't
That
come up
one's
with the word quick enough.
yeah. That one's out there, and
Yeah.
that suits our brand very well because
Actually,
people who generally buy Seaflow stuff.
I wore it for the first time on Monday, and the amount of comments that I got from my teammates on Monday, I don't usually get that many, and it was a nice opportunity to just say like, this is for the fundraising effort. So, in the car on the way back as well, I had one of my teammates say that his friend would be, or a sister, or both, would be interested in actually buying something, even though they're not in jiu-jitsu. They would be interested in purchasing like the jumper or
And because the design's so out there, it creates a conversation.
Exactly.
Which will then, you can give the origin story, and all of a sudden people are like, oh, that's really fucking cool. That's something I can get behind. Like you said, you have people who don't do jiu-jitsu buying jiu-jitsu apparel because they want to help out, and that's amazing. So again, hats off to you, Miranda. That's really awesome. I'd love to have you on for another episode of the Flow Roll, maybe later on this year, to touch base on how it all went and how you're going and everything going on with you.
For sure.
But yeah, thank you so much. It was a pleasure chatting to you, and it's a really, really cool really cool goal that we have. So hopefully we can achieve it together as a community within grappling and broader as Australians. So thanks again, Miranda. That was awesome.
Thanks, Chris.
Anytime.